It's just the same old Jets. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid? Oh, here we go. Can't be mad. Can't be mad. Can't be upset.
I can't be mad.
Can't be mad, Evan.
I can't. You know who I'm mad at?
We should be mad at you.
I'm mad at myself.
You should be mad at
I
yourself.
apologize to you. I apologize
Thank you.
to everybody. I'm a schmuck.
Yeah.
I actually believed that this quarterback and this offense and this offensive coordinator would have a level of competency so that they could win a football game when their defense looks like the 85 Bears. I think the Jets are going to kill them. I stand by it.
Come on.
I think they're going to crush them.
Yeah. I don't know what I was based on. I questioned it. I asked. I gave you so many opportunities last week to look at it a different way. You were convinced for no reason at all that the New York Jets were going to dominate the Patriots.
I had my reasons for why I believed it.
Yeah.
But now we all know the truth.
Yeah,
we
Zach
know it
Wilson's
today.
not an NFL quarterback.
Oh, dude, he's not.
Yeah,
he's
that's
not.
what we know.
And the one thing I did remember telling you before the season started was we are going to have an answer on this quarterback.
Yep.
We're going to know before this season is over if he's the guy or not. And on many, many levels, including the lack of accountability in his postgame, we know the sad answer with this guy. He goes into the box of crap quarterbacks that the Jets have drafted, that we believed in, that ultimately go into the dustpan of history.
Yeah.
That performance yesterday, Craig, from beginning to end, was one of the worst singular quarterback performances we've seen. It was that bad. And I don't want to hear about the lack of turnovers. Devin McCourty dropped the easiest interception in the world.
Yes, right in the middle of the field. That's
Zach
right.
was lucky. How about the last drive of the game when they call a gift defensive hold? Zach was given like his 50th gift of the game, and all he needed to do was put together a competent drive in the last minute and a half.
Yeah.
Zerline kicks a field goal. The Jets win 6-3, and he could put a Band-Aid off the disgustingness of his performance, and he couldn't do that.
Yeah, and by the way, it may have cost the New York Jets the playoffs yesterday. That's the reality of it. We'll get into the bigger portion of why the Jets lost yesterday so bad. But let's say what everyone else is saying because it's accurate. You know, it's not just yesterday. It's been in the year and a half he's played football here. We don't even see glimpses anymore. You know, and it's. I'd love to blame LaFleur. I'd love to blame Rob Saleh. I'm not even sure if I can because there's videos out there now when they show you the entire field so you get to see a play develop that you cannot see when you watch on television. And there's guys open. There are plays to be made, and Zach Wilson's not playing them. Making them, rather. And it's a real effing problem. Yesterday was such a hard game to watch for all the obvious reasons. Like 3-3, are you kidding me? And the defense, every time you thought, uh-oh, New England's going to make a play here, that we got a sack. We got a big tackle for a loss.
Every time.
We stepped up defensively every single time the game was on the line. And then Zach Wilson, after the game, chewing bubblegum like a 9-year-old, says, when asked the question, do you think you owe the defense an apology? No. No. Yeah, you do.
Dude, let's also be honest. This is not being extra dramatic. This is reality. That room is lost. He's lost the room. It's not a coincidence that two defensive players accidentally liked tweets criticizing the quarterback. That's not. Come on. What are we all so naive?
Yeah.
They can't stand this guy. They can't stand
I
him
don't know
because
about them. They can't stand the guy.
I'll tell you
know
why.
that.
Not only
I just know they know we know that is the kids the reason they're losing.
Okay, that's one thing. We all know that. After the game, you have to do what Jalen Hurts did 2 weeks ago. You have to do what Josh Allen has done before. You have to stand up, not only in front of the media, not only in front of the fans, but in front of the teammates who are going to hear about these quotes and say, hey, guys, we lost because of me. I've heard, Craig, quarterbacks do that.
Josh Allen did it 2 weeks ago. He said it's hard to win games when your quarterback plays like bleep.
I've heard quarterbacks say that even when it's not even really the reason they lost, but you're the leader of the team. And this guy, this punk, because that's really what he is, if he's actually going to sit there and say, oh, no, it's not me. Listen, I don't feel bad. This guy basically goes up there after a game, and instead of dying on the sword, which is what he should do, because he was that bad, he has to be defiant. It's not bad enough that you and I will see through it. You don't think defensive players who played their ass off yesterday see that?
5 days ago, he came out and said nobody outside this building knows what the hell they're talking about. So he has chosen the douche route. he has chosen to be defiant, to fight the media, to fight the fan base, not take ownership of the fact that he sucks. And unfortunately, you have put together a team that's defense is good enough to win a Super Bowl. And I'm not that's fact. This is a good enough defense to win a Super Bowl with. And you give them nothing. And in a game that meant everything to the franchise, big picture-wise, having lost 13 in a row, and meant everything to the franchise this particular year because the playoffs are at stake. And now they've put themselves in a position where they're probably on the outside looking in. And you could talk all you want to, not you, but in general, about we have a winning record, and it's just one game, and we've got 6 more games to go. Here's the reality. Name the game in which he was the reason they won. I'll wait.
No, there hasn't been a game where that's been the case.
Exactly right. And at some point, even a blind squirrel finds a nut. And I was the biggest Zach Wilson supporter. I fell in love with the arm. I fell in love with all of it. And here's the reality. He's reverted back to he can't throw the little screen pass. He threw it over the running back's head by 5 yards. He's got Denzel Mims wide open on a deep slant, and he's staring at him. And that was when we scrambled for 7 yards to the left instead of hitting one of 2 guys wide open. He's got his young, talented wide receiver saying, at some point, it'd be nice if we believed in our wide receivers to go make plays, because I believe we can make plays. And when given opportunities, to their credit, they have made plays. And he is a problem. 2 yards in the second half. Like that, like someone put out yesterday, I thought it was actually funny. Do you know what the Jets averaged per play yesterday? 2 inches. That's like a legitimate stat.
Right.
They averaged 2 inches per offensive play yesterday. That's not good.
No kidding. And you
inches.
you still had a chance to win the football game.
Right.
If that ball by Braden Mann is punted out of bounds.
He's a horrendous punter, by the way.
If he doesn't pull a Matt Dodge for all the Giant fans out there, and if he just punts the ball out of bounds, this game goes to overtime.
Now,
and the Jets probably still lose, but you never know.
You never know. Got a shot. One play.
The way the defense was playing, the defense did everything right yesterday except for one thing. They couldn't force a turnover.
Yep.
And who knows? Maybe they force a big turnover in overtime, and the Jets find a way to win. One quick thing, though, about Zach. He's not the reason they won a game, so you're right about your point. He did lead a game-winning touchdown drive in his first game back against the Steelers. So I just want to be fair about that.
Okay.
But to your point, they didn't win the game because of Zach Wilson. And if anything, right now on the outside looking in on the playoff picture, especially now that the Ravens have a tiebreaker, the Bengals have the tiebreaker, the Patriots will have the tiebreaker, the reason they're on the outside looking in is the quarterback. That's the reason.
That's right.
And that's the thing that's so infuriating. If they had competence at the position, the New York Jets are no doubt a playoff team and probably sitting here in first place. That's how good this defense has been.
Well, that's where they should be. They should be in first place. Now, because Zach Wilson's so bad yesterday, it's hard for me, at least, to give you a complete grade on LaFleur other than this. And I think this is an acceptable thing for me to say, and I imagine you're going to agree with me on it. It became so predictable. And I recognize we're a run-first team, and we are going to run. So I'm not even debating running the ball, especially when I got Zach Wilson as my quarterback, who I clearly don't trust, who he clearly does not trust himself right now either. And he's skittish about, I don't want to throw an interception, so rather than hit Denzel Mims wide open for a touchdown, I'm going to run for 7 yards and live to fight another day. It became so predictable. We're going to run James Robinson into the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
We're going to throw incomplete. We're going to run again. Then we're going to punt.
Yeah, there was no creativity from
Nothing.
LaFleur. They need to incorporate more RPOs. They haven't done that. And one big issue I had with this coaching staff was, and tell me if you agree, because I can totally understand you saying, shut up, Evan, you're wrong. Right after Devin McCourty dropped the easy interception, I want to set you up where this game was. It was 3-3. There was 45 seconds left, and the Jets had a 4th and 2 from the Patriots' 43-yard line.
And we punted.
And they punted. And here's what made it worse. Okay, they punt. They pin the Patriots back. They force a 3-and-out. They then start using timeouts after they punt, thinking, hey, if we could force a 3-and-out, we'll get the football back. It worked to perfection. Like, literally. They stopped Stevenson twice. They stopped Stevenson a third time. They use all 3 timeouts, and they get the ball back with 19 seconds left, with no chance to score.
Right.
What the hell was the point? Like,
Right.
if you're using timeouts aggressively.
Then you might as well go for it on 4th and 2.
Yes, because you want to score points and you want to break the 3-3 tie. Then on 4th and 2 from the Patriot 42-yard line, show some balls.
And
even if it means running the football, by the way.
Let me be clear. For those of you that are going to yell and scream, Belichick did the same thing. He's playing the win game, which is why he chose the win in the 4th quarter. And I'm with you. It's like I said to Sonny, I know he tweeted it out. All gas, no. What did I say? All ass, no gas. Whatever, no gas, no this. Whatever the hell it was. But yeah, there's they don't also give the offense an opportunity to feel good about themselves. There's no aggressiveness whatsoever.
If they convert on that 4th and 2, even by just running the football,
we're going overtime.
The game is completely different.
Sure.
And so I didn't like that conservative nature. And look, as far as what Bill Belichick decides to do, it's completely different because here's why. I think we look at this Jet defense and say this is so the strength of this team. Even if we fail on that 4th and 2 and you give New England the football at their own 43-yard line, there's a faith that they're going to get to Mac Jones, they're going to sack him, and they're going to find a way to not give up points.
Right.
And so I thought late first half, that was a huge mistake. And the other thing that happened that this coach has to answer for is we all witnessed one of the worst quarterback performances you'll ever see. It can't get much worse. And yet Robert Saleh said, I never even thought about a quarterback change. You never thought about one,
You had to
Coach?
at least consider it.
It never plopped into your mind for 30 seconds?
Like you gained 2 yards in the entire second half. At some point in the 3rd or 4th quarter, you had to say to yourself, maybe I need a spark. Like I think Brian Costello put out, Joe Flacco still leads the team in touchdown passes.
He does.
Like what are we talking about? It's got to be every option's got to be on the table right now.
How many 3-and-outs in a row does it take before you say, hey, we're lucky enough to still be in this game. It's a 3-3 game. The immortal Nick Folk actually missed a couple of field goals. I jinxed him. You're welcome. At what point do you say, let's just try something?
Yeah, it's just brutal.
Let's just try something.
Jets lose. Obviously, they score 3 points. The New York Giants. I mean, if you want, listen, you take me for granted, it's going to be a day I'm not here for you. But I told you all week long, there's going to be a tough spot for the New York Giants. And I don't know what you read into that. Daniel Jones, of course, had his worst day this year for the Giants. They never got the running attack started.
No. It's not on Daniel Jones.
Well, he did not play well.
He didn't, but when you can't run with Saquon Barkley and he goes 15 carries for 22 yards
you're gonna lose.
And you get your ass kicked on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, you're going to lose. When you turn the ball over a couple of times, and that's on Daniel Jones, I agree, you're going to lose. When you commit more penalties, you're going to lose. You're not good enough. But really, to me, it starts with not being able to run the football. That is their offense.
Yep.
And when they're not able to establish the run with Saquon, they're in major, major trouble. And one thing we talked about last week is the Lions have a legitimately good offense. Can the New York Giants put up 30?
No.
That was what they were going to need to do to win this game, and they were never even close.
Yeah, listen, it's I can't. All losses suck. I saw this one coming a mile away. It doesn't make it any better, obviously. Now you have the short week, and you have the Dallas Cowboys who just dropped the 90-burger on the Minnesota Vikings, also as predicted on the show. So some of us had a pretty damn good week last week, just from a standpoint of understanding and knowing football. The New York Giants are going to lose to the Detroit Lions.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
In fairness,
other people not so good.
We both predicted that, though.
Well,
I predicted that they'd lose, too.
We don't have any audio of that.
That's fine. I'll take my beating today. That's totally fine. But I'll tell you what was worse than the loss for the Giants.
Yeah.
More meaningful than the loss. And it's obviously a bad loss to lose at home to the Lions. The injuries. I mean, this was a catastrophic day with Adoree Jackson on punt return, which I understand it's a fair criticism of this coaching staff. You put him at risk.
I had no problem with it.
No, I'm not saying I got a problem with it. It's a fair criticism.
Okay, you can ask the question.
Fair question to say, hey, you're putting your number one corner in a spot in which he's more likely to get hurt. By the way, I happen to agree with you. I think when you don't have a big margin for error, you have to give your team every advantage possible. And if Adoree Jackson is your best punt returner, I don't have an issue with it. So I don't even disagree with Daboll, but I understand the criticisms. And now Adoree Jackson's out 4 to 6 weeks and he's your best corner. But worse than that, This game yesterday had one major positive, and that was the breakout game of Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, it's too bad he tore his ACL also. Maybe they'll actually put grass in there one day.
I mean, seriously, isn't that your big takeaway from this?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
When the hell, and I know they're going to at the end of the year,
Well,
but
they're
how
putting
many
a
major
synthetic
injuries?
grass in there. Whatever. They're changing the surface of the playing field. And that was decided before Sunday, to be fair. But an MCL for Jackson, an ACL, and the year now for Wan'Dale has been a nice surprise for them.
Tyree Phillips also got hurt in this game. Dable
it's,
made an odd decision starting Shane Lemieux for the first half, then realized, wait a second, he's not very good and benches him in the second half. It was just all around a bad day for the Giants.
And that's going to happen unless the Giants, kind of are what everyone knows they are. They're not a great team. They've overachieved this year. And these types of games are going to happen. Like, the Jet loss is far worse, frankly, than the Giant loss. The problem for the Giants, of course, is you're reeling now injury-wise. You are coming off your worst game of the year collectively. You can't run the ball, couldn't run the ball. And now you're going to Dallas for a division game you got to have. And let's be fair about it, Dallas is much better.
Well, the other thing from yesterday, and it was sort of in an odd way a continuation of the Texan game. The Texans drove on them in the second half at will.
Yeah.
The difference was, to the Giants' credit, their defense always made a big play to keep them out of the end zone.
That's right. Got turnovers
every single time, right?
Yeah.
The difference was Detroit had 1, 2, 3 straight possessions in which they drove down the field and punched it in every time with Jamal Williams, who they could not stop.
Yeah.
So defensively, that's the other thing you have to look at. I mean, defensively, the Lions did whatever they want, especially running the football against them.
Just a tough day all around if you're a New Yorker. And on the heels of we thought we were going to have a positive Thanksgiving. Now we go into Thanksgiving going,
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
am thankful
What's that?
that we root for a first-place football team.
Is that right, Evan?
First-place
We
football
do?
team.
Huh? So that's going to
You're
change.
trying to kill me even more than I'm already killed.
I guess that changes your Thanksgiving.
You don't think my soul was already destroyed watching that slop yesterday?
You told me we were going to be taking New England's soul on
Because
Sunday.
I believed it.
Yeah?
I think this is a soul-taking kind of game, too. Boy, you found all of them, didn't you, Big Mac?
If the Jets prove me wrong, it may break me as a sports fan.
Have you been broken?
We're pretty close.
Have you been broken as a sports fan?
I tell you this, it's going to be very, very difficult to ever trust again. I'll tell you that right now. I don't think there's ever going to be a game this season in which I trust this football team, especially this quarterback. How could you?
You can't. You can't.
But let's all be honest together. I know this isn't the day to hear it, but you know the reality. This guy is not the answer.
And I want to be clear, though.
He was.
I want to be clear, though.
He's not.
That is not based on yesterday alone.
No. Yesterday was the final.
Yesterday's just a cherry on top.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, I want to be clear. Like, we're not overreacted to one game. It's every game.
Craig, there's always going to be a moment where you come around on someone. We discussed this last year with Joe Judge. For me, it was later than you.
Yeah.
There are moments where you say, all right, this guy's not the answer. It is very difficult to not walk away from yesterday's game and not think, oh, my God, they got it wrong with this guy.
Yeah.
And what
it certainly
sucks,
seems that way.
But Craig, here's what sucks.
Yeah.
This Jet defense is legitimately awesome.
I agree. They're Super Bowl defense.
And you don't want to waste it.
Well,
they're
wasting
wasting it.
Yeah. They are.
They're
Listen,
wasting it.
I'm with you 100%. I'm just glad I didn't think they were going to win, because that would make my Sunday even worse. And
They are going to leave.
What?
Absolutely no doubt on Sunday afternoon at July. No doubt.
Boy, you guys, man.
Wow.
You found everything. didn't you?
Oh, no, we got much more coming your way, buddy. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander, as they say.
Are you enjoying this, though, as a Jet
I'm
fan?
enjoying every second
Really?
of it.
You like this?
I am. Because I took my little beating when the Jets beat the Bills, and you had your co-hosts over there. Every break, play my prediction. So every break,
My fellow Jet fans,
Yeah.
did you not think things were going to change yesterday? Did you not think that you couldn't be able to sing same old Jets? Did you not think that this time it would be different?
I knew a couple possessions into the game it was going to be football that would set back the sport a couple dozen centuries. Like, I don't even know what sport they were playing out there. Because I watched, like, last night's game, Kansas City Chargers, right?
Yeah.
You watched a lot of other games throughout the weekend?
Yeah.
And they're just playing a different sport than we play. It's fascinating how behind the eight ball we are and how prehistoric we are as the New York Jets. And I know what the Jets are going to say today. We got a lot of football left. We're over 500. We believe in Zach. There's things we can correct.
No.
We're going to go back to the drawing board.
No.
That's what they're going to say.
Here's what I need to hear, and I think we got a little bit of it from Saleh yesterday. No more nice guy. Now we need some tough love. Like, the best part of Robert Saleh's press conference yesterday is when he described the offense as horse bleep.
Yes.
Because it's true.
Because it was.
And it shows you that it's unacceptable.
Well, apparently it was very acceptable because he never even thought about changing it.
That he has to address.
Right?
Look, I'm not suggesting, and I don't think you are either, that Mike White's the answer or even Joe Flacco is the answer. But when you are getting that inept kind of play, Craig, you got to show the guys in that room a frustrated Garrett Wilson who wants to win. Right. Guys on defense who are playing their ass off. You have to show, hey, guys, we're going to do everything we can. And by sitting there 3 and out after 3 and out after 3 and out and do nothing?
Yeah. I'm wondering what he looks like in practice. Like, do you think in practice he looks like, oh, my God, this guy's amazing. He's the second coming? I really wonder that. I know there's no way for us to know. But it would be interesting to find out if a guy would talk to you, honestly, if Zach Wilson's a different dude, Monday through Saturday, and just has some kind of weird thing in his head on Sunday. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just wondering.
He's 2 years into this league,
yeah,
and he can't throw a simple screen. He can't throw the easiest passes, the highest percentage passes in this league.
To be fair,
can't do that.
It was windy.
Oh, stop.
Is that what he said?
Says he did. Yes,
he said it was windy out there. Yeah, Mac Jones completed 20-plus passes. He sucks. He completed 20 passes. It was windy. Couldn't throw a 7-yard screen pass to my running back because it was windy.
Here's the positive. Here's the positive to my fellow Jet fans.
Yeah.
We don't have to question this anymore. We all know the deal. The guy's not the answer.
Yeah, but I don't know why that's positive.
No, the positive.
That's heartbreaking.
Because you don't want to go into every offseason saying, what if this?
Who's our quarterback next year?
Oh, I got ideas.
I will get to it later.
Don't start with me now about that. I got a whole freaking list of ideas.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to listen to you, the guy that thought the Jets were going to take the Patriots' soul.
Listen, I was wrong. I own it.
Maybe I take a day. I don't listen to you.
What do you want me to say?
Maybe tomorrow I listen to you.
I believed in this team. I believe that this offense would have been competent enough to win this football game.
Maybe I take a day off from listening to you, and tomorrow you can tell me on something.
Listen.
I'm just saying, taking the Patriots' soul.
Totally. 100%. That's right. Yeah, I own it.
Perhaps you and I agree tomorrow. Maybe just tomorrow's a better day.
And I don't really give a crap because they're winning the game outright by a lot. Boy, I gave you how many gifts the last 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
All right,
God.
877-337-6666. The Giants didn't only just lose their game to Detroit, they probably lost out on any chance of getting Odell Beckham, too.